Hey children, welcome back to the third session of this chapter on motion. So let's start the topic rate of change of velocity. During uniform motion of a body in a straight line, the velocity remains constant with time. In this case, change in velocity at any time interval is zero, means no change in velocity. During non-uniform motion, the velocity changes with time. In this case, the change in velocity at any time interval is not zero. It may be positive or negative. Means it has different values at a different instance and at different points of the path. Thus, the change in velocity of the object during any time interval is not zero. Students, can we now express the change in velocity of an object? Yes, obviously. To answer such a question, we have to introduce another physical quantity called acceleration. The quantity which specifies changes in velocity is called acceleration. Acceleration. It is the change in velocity of a body per unit time, or we can say the rate of change of velocity. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity per unit time. If the velocity of a body changes from initial value to final value v in time t, then acceleration a is equal to v minus u by t. The SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square, or we can express it as meter second inverse 2. If an object travels in a straight line and its velocity increases or decreases by equal amounts in equal intervals of time, then the acceleration of the object is said to be uniform. The motion of a freely falling body is an example of uniformly accelerated motion. On other hand, an object travels with non-uniform acceleration. If its velocity changes at a non-uniform rate, we can say it is a non-uniform acceleration. If a car traveling along a straight road increases its speed by unequal amounts in unequal intervals of time, then the car is said to be moving with non-uniform acceleration. I have given two graphical representation diagram here. We can represent like this. I have taken x-axis as a time and y-axis as a acceleration. See here some parallel line which is actually along with the timeline also. So here there is no change in velocity, so we can say this is a uniform acceleration. But here when come back to the second graphical diagram, some uneven lines are there in the x and y axis. So here we can say this is non-uniform acceleration, means the body should change its velocity. Graphical representation of motion. A graph is a pictorial representation of the relation between two sets of data, of which one set is of dependent variables and other set is of independent variables. Graphs provide a convenient method to present basic information about a variety of events. For example, in the telecast of a one-day cricket match, vertical bar graphs show the run rate of a team in each over. As you have studied in mathematics, a straight line graph helps in solving a linear equation having two variables. To describe the motion of an object, we can use line graphs. In this case, line graphs show dependence of one physical quantity such as distance or velocity, or another quantity such as time. Time graph. The change in the position of an object with time can be represented on the distance time graph. In this graph, time is taken along the x-axis and distance is taken along the y-axis. Distance time graph of a moving body can be used to calculate the speed of the body, as they specifically represent velocity. In this graphical representation, you can understand the object moving with the uniform speed, because there is no variation for the particular axis between x and y. So we can say it is the object is moving uniform speed. The distance time graph for a body moving at uniform speed is always a straight line, as distance travelled by the body is directly proportional to time, as shown in below in the figure 1. The distance time graph for a body moving with non-uniform speed is a curve, is shown below in the figure 2. So here we can understand that we have a straight line for uniform speed, we have some curve or uneven path which carries the axis of x and y. So distance time graph for non-uniform speed for the graph representation which gives the calculation of Distance time graph is parallel to time axis when the object is at rest as shown in the figure 3. So here there is no change in the position of a particular object. So the straight line which is parallel with the time axis. So the time only gradually increasing, but the position of an object is not increasing. So here we can say the object is at rest. Fourth diagram which represent the object which having uniform speed. So here we can take a perpendicular point of A, B and AC. Here calculate the speed of the body from distance time graph, say at point A. First draw a perpendicular AB on time axis and a perpendicular AC on distance axis, so that AB represents the distance travelled by the body in time interval OB, and since we know that speed is equal to distance travelled by time taken, which is equal to AB by OB. Velocity time graph. The variation in velocity with time for an object moving in a straight line can be represented by a velocity time graph. In this graph, time is represented along the x-axis and the velocity is represented along the y-axis. In figure 5, you can understand there is no change in velocity, means speed remains constant. It is said to be the object has no acceleration. In figure 6, velocity time graph showing uniform acceleration. It means there is uniformly the speed increases from the point of O to P. So you can understand there is uniform acceleration where it has no. The product of velocity and time give displacement of an object moving with uniform velocity. The area enclosed by velocity time graph and the time axis will be equal to the magnitude of the displacement. If a body moves with a constant velocity, then velocity time graph for this body would be straight line parallel to time axis as shown in figure 5. The velocity time graph of uniformly changing velocity is shown in figure 6 and is a straight line. We can find out the value of acceleration using the velocity time graph. For calculating acceleration at time corresponding to point R, draw a perpendicular RP from point R as shown in figure 6, and we know that A is equal to change in velocity by time taken. Here change in velocity is represented by PR and time taken is equal to OR. So acceleration is equal to PR by OR, which is equal to the slope of the velocity time graph. So we conclude that slope of velocity time graph of moving body gives its the distance travelled by moving body in a given time will be equal to area of triangle OPR as shown in figure 6, which means the distance travelled which is equal to area of a triangle OPR, which is equal to 1 by 2 area of a triangle ORPQ. So distance travelled which is equal to 1 by 2 into OQ into OR. When the velocity of a body changes in an irregular manner, then velocity time graph of the body is a curved line. Equation of motion by graphical method. We already known what is graphical representation of motion. About equation of motion when an object moves along a straight line with uniform acceleration. We already know how to derive them, but these equations can also be derived by graphical method. Equation for velocity time relation. Consider the velocity time graph of an object that moves under uniform acceleration as shown in the figure. From this figure, you can see that initial velocity of the object is u at point A and that increases to v at point B in time t. The velocity changes at a uniform rate A. Again from figure it is clear that time t is represented by OC. Initial velocity u by OA and final velocity of object after time t by BC. Graph as given in figure, it is clear that BC is equal to BD plus DC, which is equal to BD plus OA. So we have V is equal to BD plus U. Here we can understand what is BC. BC as given as V. So which is equal to BD plus U. U is OA, which is initial velocity. We should now find out the value of BD. From the velocity time graph figure 7, the acceleration of the object is given by change in velocity by time taken, which is equal to BD plus AD. which is equal to BD plus OC, or we can write it as BD by T, which gives BD is equal to AT. Putting this value of BD in equation 1, we get V is equal to U plus AT, which is the equation for velocity time relation. We can also say it is the first equation of motion. Equation for position time relation. Let us consider that the object has travelled a distance s in time t under uniform acceleration a. The distance travelled by the object is obtained by the area enclosed within OABC under the velocity time graph AB. So we have to calculate the total distance covered by the object, which is equal to area of the trapezium ABDO, which is equal to area of rectangle plus area of a triangle. So area of a rectangle, that is length into breadth, OD into OA, plus triangle 1 by 2 base into height, BC into AC. Here we can consider OD is equal to T into OA is equal to U, plus 1 by 2 V minus U into T. So UT plus of V minus U into T. We can take VU instead of AT, because you know very well in first equation of motion we consider or we calculated A is equal to V minus U by T. We just cross multiple in that, so you'll get V minus U, which is equal to A into T. So we should substitute instead of V minus U, that is change in velocity is equal to what? A into T. So UT plus of AT into T. So you will get S is equal to UT plus of AT square. This second equation of motion derivation is very important for your syllabus. Equation for position velocity relation. The total distance travelled S is equal to area of trapezium OABC. So S is equal to 1 by 2 sum of parallel sides into height. So we can write it as S is equal to OA plus CB into OC. Since OA is equal to U, CB is equal to V and OC is equal to T, the above equation becomes S is equal to 1 by 2 U plus V into T. Now since T is equal to V minus U by A, the above equation can be written as S is equal to 1 by 2 U plus V into V minus U by A. Rearranging the equation, we get S is equal to V plus U into V minus U by A. Therefore, S is equal to V square minus U square by 2A. Third equation of motion is obtained by solving the above equation, that is V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Uniform circular motion. The movement of a body following a circular path is called a circular motion. Now, the motion of a body moving with a constant speed along a circular path is called uniform circular motion. Here, the speed is constant but the velocity changes. In our everyday life, we came across many examples of circular motion. For example, cars going round the circular track and many more. Also, Earth and other planets revolve around the sun in a roughly circular orbits. If the speed of motion is constant for a particle moving in a circular motion, still the particle accelerates because of constantly changing direction of the velocity. If an object moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called uniform circular motion. Here in circular motion, we use angular velocity in place of velocity we used while studying linear motion. For force which is needed to make body travel in a circular path is called centripetal. We know that the circumference of a circle of radius r is given by 2 pi r. If the body takes t seconds to go once around the circular path of radius r, the velocity v is given by 2 pi r by t. One thing we must keep in mind is that uniform linear motion is not accelerated, but uniform circular motion is accelerated motion. Examples of uniform circular motion are motion of artificial satellites around the earth. Moon, the natural satellite of earth, moves in uniform circular motion around the earth. Cyclist moving on a circular track with a constant speed exhibits uniform circular motion. Thank you, children.